Captain Gunship here. Hope you are doing well. So, we have a little surprise today. They have updated the server with economy updates, and it looks good, guys. So they say here, according to the poll result, over 97% support for the changes. Now, that's not a surprise. They did look very good overall. And yeah, more information on the website. And let's look at, there we are, server update. It's probably just the same thing written again. But according to the poll result, 97% support for changes and the War Thunder development roadmap. So that's great. So the proposed economic changes are now in effect. Reward multiplayer increase has been set up, so that is great for the vast amount of vehicles. And these changes are designed to make all vehicles break even without a premium account. And I think that's significant. Allow everyone to play War Thunder, and those that has a premium account will of course just research things a little bit quicker and be a little bit more well off in terms of buying things in the game, like for example adding on expert crews, that kind of stuff. So it says here the calculation of economic indicators for each vehicle is created from the average values of the vehicle class and battle rating instead of the personal statistic of each vehicle. And that's really useful, because it used to be that the top players would get hold of the new vehicles the quickest. They would play them and do really well in them. And then after a while, War Thunder statistics will look at this and say, oh, these vehicles are looking great, so we're gonna make them harder to play or less reward or whatever. And then the average player would then finally get to research and use that vehicle, and of course then they get penalized. So it was a really bad system. I think this is much fairer. Maybe not as straightforward as everyone wanted, but I think is fair. So essentially here, if you have a medium tank and it's battle rating 8.0, then all medium tanks at battle rating 8.0 should be very similar in terms of research you get from them and in terms of the amount of silver lions you get. So that all sounds good. And in accordance with the development roadmap, the available BR indicators has been added to the preferred locations in middle and blah blah. Fine. So a little minor thing, but the main thing is the economy. So let's go in and have a look. We'll close that. And actually, J29F that we just landed on here is a perfect example. Now, I do like the plane and I think it's fun to play. Bit of a grind to get there, I'm not gonna lie, but that plane is good when you get it up. Even stock is reasonable. Problem about it was the repair cost used to be about 20,000 silver lions, so that was a bit of a bummer. So now that should be different. Ooh, look at that, 12,652. That is much more like it. So of course I deal mostly with battleships and the like. So let's have a little look at that. So USA, let's go into naval, big navy, and look at something like that. Alaska, max repair cost 40,000. Okay, then look at other battleships. North Dakota, 36,000, obviously a bit lower on the battle rating. Nevada, 29. Arizona, 38. So they're all about the 40 mark, more or less. Wyoming, very similar. New Orleans, max repair cost there is only 12,800. Up, that's not a battleship, that is a cruiser. So yeah, all good. Okay, let's look at Germany. So Bayern, 33,000. So there's a difference here from the 38,000, but I haven't fully researched the Bayern yet, so maybe that has something to do with it. 36,000 for Helgoland, which is fully spaded. Westfalen 36, so those are similar. Kaiser 36, so very similar there. Scharnhorst, that is spaded, 39,000. So it looks like you're just under the 40,000 mark for a battleship. And yes, that is a fair amount. But with a battleship, you can also get a lot of damage and make silver lines. Now, the last change on the roadmap of economy changes is that if you have a premium account, then you won't be able to lose any silver lines in a battle. This means that you should be able to sport in, for example, the Scharnhorst, the Kaiser, and the Bayern all in the same match. And let's say you die horribly each time. I mean, right now you'll be looking at 120,000 silver lines lost at worst case scenario. What will happen then with the premium account is that will just be, now you just don't gain anything in terms of silver lines. You probably still gain a little bit in terms of research cost if you actually manage to at least hit something or spend a bit of time in the game. I think that's fair. And let's look at the cruisers we have here. So Nuremberg, 15,000 for 5.7. Köln, 14,000. Now that is not spaded. Leipzig a bit lower. Oh, only 8,000. Emden, 8,000. And we go further down the list to a 4.7. They're just 5, something like that. 3, yeah. That's 4,000 and 3,000. It's the higher up there's some more problem. Let's have a look at Russia. So again, Kronstadt should be around the 40k mark, which it is, 39. And Paris Commune 38. So very similar. I mean, it's close enough that, you know, 1,000 silver lines here there is not going to break the bank, is it? Look at the 6.7, 38 and 38. Yeah, that's fine. Going down to the cruisers, 6.0, 17, yeah, 16 something. That's a 5.7, so what's the 10,000? Yeah, reasonable. Great Britain, again, 40,000 for those. Dreadnought further down, about 30 mark. And a 6.0 like the Kent, 17. It looks pretty consistent aboard the board. Let's look at Japan. So Fuso, 37. Hugate, 29. So again, about the 40 mark. And that's a 6.3, 28. A 6.0, 15. Yeah, so looks like the 6.0 is about 17 to or below. That's fair enough. Congo here should be around 40. I think that works well. Italy, Dulio, yeah, not quite 40, but it's a 6.7, right? So 37,000. And this one here, 36, fair enough. And Dante, something like the Tsar, 17,000. So about the right sort of neck of the woods. Yeah, can't complain about that. And last but not least, we've also got France now. Now, I don't have any of these battleships yet, but the 6.7 here, you see you start at 30,000 here, but I mean, of course, I don't have the ship and it's not spaded or anything like that. So, you know, if I spade that one up, it'll probably be around that sort of 35 to 36,000. Seems reasonable. And the cruisers, I've just got these. These are actually two great cruisers, by the way, at 5.3. So, yeah, max repair cost 11 and 12. This might be a little bit higher because this one is not spaded yet, but that's reasonable. Yeah, very good. And at least it's the same throughout. And then we can argue which ship is better and worse and all the rest of it. But at least you don't have this sort of ridiculous where one nation has sky high repair cost and others don't. I mean, at one stage, one of the battleships, I can't remember which one it was like 80,000 silver lines, and it was just a bit sort of ridiculous. So this looks better. Now, silver lines in terms of boosters, we haven't really looked at that. So let's go back to US. So the Alaska get a reward of 900. That's 900. 900 again. Okay, so very consistent. All the 6.0s are 900. Atlanta, 900. Okay. Blimey, Trenton, 900. Somers, 810. Okay, what does the Helena get? Blinking Nora. Look at the reward there. 1,800%. Wow. I'm pretty sure that used to be 1,200, right? What does a Moffat get? 1,800 as well. Holy cow. Okay, let's look at Russia. I'm gonna look at the Black Girl. Play that quite a lot. That is a great little destroyer, by the way. 1800% and Constantine 900. Yeah, all 900s. Consistent. I can't remember what they used to be, but I don't think they were that high. That is definitely a difference. Blimey. I mean, 600 there. Okay. Lots of money to be made in battleships and cruisers. And I think if you get 900% on a good battle cruiser or battleship, and you just do half decent in battle, that should be good. Also remember they're talking, that's not out yet, but they're talking about at some point in this upgrade that if you lose your ship or vehicle, awfully more likely for tanks or planes really early on in the game, then your repair cost is not going to be as high, i.e. not the full amount. So if you, let's say you rush in and you're trying to capture the point in a tank, for example, or a boat, for example, could be, and you get shot or sort of down instantly, so you don't spend much time in the battle, but at least you try to be proactive or do something in the battle, then your repair cost is not going to be as bad. I think this is really positive. I think you should get more people having a better time in the game. Yeah, and rewards in terms of RP reward, I can't remember if that has gone up as well. That might be the same. Doubt it. But certainly the Silver Lines looks very good. And now I do play a little bit of tanks as well. And I have been going full tilt with trying to get the Challenger tanks. So I just literally got that Challenger 2E a few days ago. And I can't remember on top of me the rewards on that. So I dare sort of saying things. But in terms of repair cost, 4,200 Silver Lines, that's not so bad. 5,300 there, 4,200. Yeah, they're about the 5 mark. And of course, when you play tanks, you go into a battle and if you're not good enough that you stay in it for a little bit of time, then you might lose 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles, as you can see. I mean, at the, we'll go here, top tanks here. You can see down the bottom, Challenger DS. Those two are premiums. Let's just change that to ground realistic. And yeah, so I would typically spawn in the Challenger 2E first, and the Black Knight, and maybe the Challenger 2 if I still have enough spawn points, the Warrior, and then maybe I'll use some of the premiums. But if obviously the premiums, you won't have a problem with the repair cost, but you lose those 4 in sharp succession, that's going to bite a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be as bad these days. So yeah, some really positive changes in terms of cost of repair cost for all kinds of vehicles in the game. Obviously, I know more about the naval than all the rest of them, but that looks really positive also from naval. I don't think people anymore. I think people that were beforehand was afraid of going and playing like a battleship because, the repair cost of it is terrible and stuff like that. I think for the amount of Silver Lines you're gonna get out of it, I think you can probably say, yeah, I will be okay to go and play battleships and have a good time in it and not worry too much about things like Silver Lines. The other thing was sort of cruisers that was like, I lose 20 to 30,000 in some extent, because I'm pretty sure that the American cruiser, something like the Brooklyn, for example, that was around the 30,000 mark, and it's not anymore. A 17, that's a lot more palatable, and that is a great cruiser. I mean, it's the same as the Helena essentially. For people that don't have the Helena, play the Brooklyn. It's a very good cruiser. I also think the Pittsburgh was quite spicy in terms of repair cost. Again, that's nice. Not many will have the Baltimore because it was an event vehicle, but that also used to be high. I mean, at 14,700, that is nice. Newport News 16,000. I think that's very good considering how fast firing that ship is. So yeah, that is it. I think I will call it a day, but I'm very pleased about those changes, and I can't wait to go in and play the game and see how it works out for everyone. So that's all for now. Have a good one. See you in the next one. Bye for now.